Now, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are right now in an X-Cub plane. We are approaching a small bush airfield. Let's just land first before we talk any further, right? Now, our little runway is right in front of us, if you can even call this one a runway. Alright. This worked out quite well. Yeah, this was quite an interesting intro into the video. Yes, we are in the Californian mountains in the middle of nowhere pretty much. And today we're gonna check out another one of these very small bush airports that we always visit. Today we are talking about Dillon Creek Bar, which is a very interesting name. Yes, this bush airfield actually exists, and you do actually see small planes like the X-Cub, which is a perfect bush plane with its thick tires, operate here. But of course we're gonna try some bigger planes later on. Now this is not even, I mean, it's not that much of a runway, is it? It's literally only like a flat area, right? Right next to the runway we have this river here that flows through the Californian mountains or whatever. This is kind of cool though, not gonna lie. Now yes, this little flat area or so-called runway is only 300 meters long, which is definitely not long. That's like half as long as something like the 747, which we'll try landing here later on, of course, which makes landing here very, very hard. You know, even the X-Cub kind of struggled landing here, so landing bigger planes here will definitely be quite interesting. Let's try a plane that is not necessarily a bush plane, like, at all. Maybe the Cirrus Vision Jet. We haven't tried that one in a while. You know, the good old Cirrus Jet. The thing about this plane, though, is that it doesn't have reverse thrust, which might actually become an issue, because, you know, on gravel runways, plane do need quite a longer distance to stop, so this could be an issue, especially taking off. This plane is kind of considered a very underpowered plane. It doesn't have that much of a powerful engine, so it does need quite a long runway to operate, and that's with all the Cirrus planes in general. You know, I mean, I fly the Cirrus SR20 in real life, which is the non-jet version of this pretty much, and I wouldn't operate that plane on a runway shorter than 1,000 meters either. And not only the runway is interesting about this bush airport, but also the approach. You really have to follow down this valley, which is interesting, I guess. There we go, now the left turn, and now we just have to follow along the river, and eventually it will guide us to our little runway. There we go, looking good. Yeah, you know, I always enjoy flying planes at these very small bush airfields. It is like genuinely fun also in real life, obviously, to fly above these rivers, to get very close to the ground and eventually crash or land. Oh yeah, alright, that might have been the crash part. Alright, time to get this plane landed. Alright, the runway is down here. Oh no, rock. Oh, we hit it. Oh, Jesus. That was not a very smooth landing. Let's see if we can stop anyway. This is really horrible. But actually, this was kind of successful. I mean, we probably died while hitting that rock. Let's view that again. Ooh. Yeah, poor landing gear at least. And that was a failure. But other than that, this was not that much of a failure. Actually, I was quite surprised by this landing working out. Again, this plane, it doesn't have reverse thrust, meaning that it can only use the brakes on the tires to stop. Therefore, this landing was quite good. So I'm looking forward to flying planes here that do actually have reverse thrust. Maybe let's try somewhat of a bigger plane. Maybe move on to some kind of twin engine now. Maybe something like the Baron. Alright, welcome aboard the Beechcraft Baron. No, this is definitely not a jet airliner, so maybe this can work out. Let's just go ahead and try, well, taking off. Brakes release. Let's see if these two engines can get us off the ground. Oh, that was a very big failure. Oh my goodness. My poor plane, actually. That was not good. We actually destroyed the right engine while hitting that ground. That was really not good. Yeah, that bump will actually cause some problems later on, especially with the bigger planes. They really don't like bumps here. As you can see, we have already damaged an aircraft with that. Let's try taking off from the other side. Alright, welcome aboard a brand new repaired Beechcraft Baron that has two engines that actually work, which is very good. Let's go ahead and try flying, I guess. There we go, full power. Looking good. This plane is actually quite quick, so maybe we'll be lucky this time around. Okay, there we go. That was quite a successful takeoff, wasn't it? Now, yes, of course, in order to take off, you would have to land this plane here in the first place as well, which is gonna be quite interesting. But other than that, this worked out perfectly fine, right? I think the best option actually here at this airport is to just land on this road. I think that's a lot safer than landing on the small dirt strip. But this was fine enough. Let's move on to a bigger plane, I guess. But for now, let's stay with the props. Of course, we're gonna try something like the Twin Otter. I mean, I don't even have to tell you anything. This plane can fly everywhere. It's a stall plane, meaning that it can operate at stall ports. Yeah, a stall port is an airport that doesn't have a runway, actually. Alright, welcome aboard the Twin Otter on our flight to some kind of random creek. Now, again, landing on this highway down here would probably be a lot safer, even though this, bridge seems very much deformed. Jesus Christ. And these buses here, they are very, strong, I guess. These are some badass buses here. Now, let's go ahead and get this plane landed. There we go. Sharp right turn. Now, the last turn before the landing. Very sharp one to the right. There we go. Oh. That was probably the shortest landing I have ever done. Jesus Christ. There we go. We might have actually landed before the runway started. But no, oh my god. We can even take off as well. Now, this is the perfect plane for this airport. And for pretty much any other airport, really. This is pretty strong and sturdy. Also, it can fly at extreme conditions, which is good for mountains. No problem at all. Oh, wow. Well, unless you crash here on the mountain, that's not good. Now, that was fine enough. How do we move on to another plane? Maybe a jet plane could work. Maybe the PC-24 is coming to mind. I mean, that plane could also work out quite well, even though I'm not quite sure. I mean, you know, this is a 300-meter long runway, which is like 1,000 feet, barely. That is shorter than any asphalt runway that there is. There is no shorter runway that I actually know than this runway. I mean, again, this is not really that much of a runway, but a little bit of a flat dirt area. Let's see if we can fly a jet here. I mean, at least this plane is now certified to land on gravel and grass. This is actually quite a solid private jet, so maybe. We can only find out if this plane can fly here by, you know, trying. Let's do that. Let me just tell you, this is not gonna be a very smooth landing down here. Yeah, by FAA regulation, this was more of a crash landing than an actual landing at all. Oh, this really didn't work out. Let's maybe try this one again. Jesus. You know, this plane is obviously a lot faster than all the other planes that we have tried on this video so far. So, obviously, this is gonna be a lot harder. Oh, we hit the rock. Alright, again, a very much crash landing. Oh, goodness. Another rock. But I mean, you know, there we go. We have actually stopped a little bit. In real life, the plane would have fallen apart into 20,000 pieces. But this might have actually been a survivable landing, if you can call it that. Oh, this was not too bad. Could have definitely gone worse. Here's the landing. We hit the rock again on final approach. Oh, goodness. Possibly destroying our landing gear and making this landing very, very bad. Not a good one. Yeah, maybe we can even go bigger with a plane that we don't really try enough on this channel, I think. That's the C-130, the Hercules. This plane can fly on an aircraft carrier, which is very interesting too. Yeah, we're going back to a turboprop plane. This one now has 4 turboprops that all have pretty strong reverse thrust, so there might be a little bit of hope. We will probably destroy at least one of the 4 engines on the touchdown. This will be pretty hard, as always. I wonder how much all the damage we have done to all these planes costs. Let me just say, the insurance company won't be happy with the number right now. The C-130 is quite a maneuverable plane. I mean, it could definitely be better, but it's alright. So there may be a little bit of hope there. There you go. The runway that we're aiming for is right in front of us. Let's get the plane down. We're shaving off some trees as well in doing so. Oh, some more trees gone. Alright, by FAA regulations, this was definitely a crash. Yeah, no, this was not good. We have ended up in the river now as well, but you know, could have been worse. I mean, you have to definitely think about that this plane is like half as long as the runway we're landing it on, but no, let's try this one again. This could be maybe successful. Alright, let's try this one again. Maybe let's aim for more of a smooth touchdown. Yeah, no, that's impossible. You know, with all the rocks here that are on this little flat area and stuff that you can hit, safe operation on the C-130 is not guaranteed at all in this. The FPS is weird. When we get close to the rocks, the computer totally dies for some reason. But there we go, this was not very successful. Even though 2 of the 4 engines are actually still working, that's kind of impressive. But no, this is definitely not good. So, the winner, as always, it's gonna be the Twin Otter. This is clearly a very impressive plane. Look, even this landing worked out perfectly fine without any issues. This plane, it doesn't need a long runway at all. You know, we can even try landing this plane on a helipad later on as well, I don't know. There is definitely no airport that this plane cannot serve at all. There we go. No problem at all, we stopped in no time. This is really a very nice plane, while still being able to carry quite an amount of passengers. This plane is not very small, look at this. This is like as big as most private jets, but it can still operate on any airport you wish, even on this very flat area that is also called an airstrip for some reason, even though this is really just a flat dirt area. So yeah guys, thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you tomorrow. As always, good night.